up to another good morning.
Hey guys, join me on the adventure of this little tiered table that went way off the rails before I managed to bring it back and get it on track.
Yeah, I'm going for the ride and find myself I am alive and I soar.
It's like there's some kind of a misfire between what you have in here and what your hands will create. That's where I'm at with this. I hate it. I absolutely hate this thing.
It all started out innocently enough. This little tiered end table that I've had for probably 2 years, sitting there waiting for its turn at a makeover. But every time I looked at this table, all I ever saw was pink. And I have nothing against pink. I like pink. But pink on furniture for my house is not going to work. So I went at it with DIY Paint's Weathered Wood as a base, and I just brushed it on, and then I stippled over that to give it some texture. DIY Paint is clay-based, and it's really easy to get texture with this paint. I went over the entire piece with that technique. Now in this step, I want some color. So I'm using DIY Paint in Old 57, and I'm mixing a little bit of salt wash in here to make it thicker, so I can just trowel it on with one of these IOD paint spatulas. These work really good to apply paint in kind of random, you're just kind of smearing it on. And it's thick with the salt wash, so this is going to add some awesome texture. And now a full coat of DIY Paint Summer Crush.
Now I'm going to use...
So this is where the crazy part of my brain kicked in, because I really don't know what happened here. I don't know why I went for the vintage linen. I'm not a white furniture person. I don't like painting white furniture. I sure don't want white furniture in my house. Like it won't go. I just don't know what happened. I don't know where this came from. It's a mystery. Part of the unexplained.
I'm going to water it down just a little bit.
And here I go. I just brush it on like similar to a wash. And I guess I had it in my head I was going to distress back through this and it was going to look awesome. Just call me a dreamer.
Okay, so I've got a good coat of the vintage linen on here. And now I'm just taking a wet cloth and I'm distressing it back because I want to be able to see some of those base colors that I put.
Now I'm already not loving this, but I just keep going for some mysterious reason because basically at this point, what else can I do? So I keep going. And here it is. This has actually been waxed with a clear wax already, and I'm bringing it home. So it came home with me, and I put it in its spot, and then I proceeded to glare at it out of the corner of my eye all night because it's just so out of place. I really didn't like it. So the next morning, I wiped it all down with mineral spirits to get rid of the wax, and I sanded as much as I wanted to off. I wasn't exactly sure how I was going to fix it, but something needed to be done with this thing. I'm liking this way better, but it's a little loud, so we need to tone it down a bit.
Do you ever get in those stages where you think you know what you want to create, but when you actually get down to doing it, it just does not work? And it's like there's some kind of a misfire between what you have in here and what your hands will create. That's where I'm at with this. I hate it. I absolutely hate this thing. So I have sanded it right back down to all of the color that I put underneath. This is going in my house, and I don't know why I went with the white on top. My house is darker, deeper colors oranges, turquoise, a lot of natural wood like fir, with a brown stain. I don't, my kitchen has white cabinetry, but it's distressed, so I don't know what I was thinking. But this was hideous. So I sanded it down, and now I am going to do a dark wash on the top. So basically what I'm going to do, this is weathered wood, which is what's this dark brown in here. I only have a little wee bit left in this can, so I'm going to add some water, and then I'm going to brush it just on the tops. And then I'll very lightly distress back to peek out a little bit of this orange and the turquoise. I have a lot of copper and turquoise in my house, so I think that's going to match better. Not necessarily match, but it's going to go better in my house. Because this did not. This white that I had going on here with the distress, it was ugly. It was so bloody ugly. I can't even describe. I put it up in the living room and it was just ugly. So it happens. I've had that happen a few times recently. I don't know what's wrong with my brain. But it's like your creativity just gets kind of lost. That's what I'm going to call it. I got lost. So it's a good thing I'm practicing this because I've got some not major, but nice furniture pieces that are on my list to redo. And I don't want to mess them up like this. Okay, so I've got a good wash. This is a weathered wood wash. And we're just going to brush this on. And I didn't measure. I'm going to say it's about a 50-50 paint to water mix. The dark, I think, is going to go way better. I like the dark, kind of a moodier look. I like the cozy. So I don't know, this was not cozy. And it looked awful. I should have taken a picture of it in my living room. It was horrible. So I lugged it back to the store this morning and we're gonna give it another go. Okay, so now I've changed my mind again here. So I was originally gonna keep this white skirt and the white legs, but now I'm going to do kind of a blend with weathered wood, which is that same brown I've used on the top, and some Bohemian Blue, which is a really deep turquoise. And I'm gonna just work with both. I've got 2 jars here that are almost empty. And I'm just going to work with both of them. Okay, so I've got that coat of Bohemian Blue and weathered wood on all the other spots, and a little bit of extra where I didn't want it, but whatever. So now I'm just going to wipe that back a little bit too. Not a lot. I want it mostly dark. It is better. It's looking pretty awful at the moment because of the chalkiness But once it's sealed, that will definitely, I'm not waxing it. Waxing doesn't give enough of the richness of the paint color back, so I'm not waxing it. I want to clear coat it. So that's what I'm going to do, because that will really make this, it'll really deepen the color, and that's what I want more. So I'm going to go with that. We're going to do that next once this dries.
I'm using DIY Paint's brush-on sealer called Big Top to seal this piece right now. I like using the brush-on sealer versus the wax because it gives you a deeper, vibrant color out of your paint versus the wax. Wax will deepen it a little bit, but not enough for what I wanted on this piece.
Okay, so I like it better now. I still don't love it, but I do like it better. And now I'm going to do a little bit of glazing with Dark and Decrepit. So this is one of the patinas, and it's got a built-in top coat, so you're good to go over your paint, over your clear coat. I'm just going to grab a wet wipe so I have it handy, and I just want to add a little bit more dimension with the Dark and Decrepit. So this just adds a little bit of warmth, and I just work in relatively smaller areas with this. It's just going to add that little bit of warmth here. And I'm going to go ahead and just brush it on the top. And it's just going to warm this up a bit. I don't want there to be the brush strokes. And if you do end up with brush strokes, you can go ahead and just put another coat of Big Top over this with no problem. So I'm basically just brushing it on and then kind of dabbing it back here. So I don't know if you can see, but it is most definitely adding some warmth to this. A little bit of richness, I guess, to the color. Basically, on a piece like this, I just keep adding until I like it. That is most definitely where I am at with this one. The keep adding until I like it phase. And I don't mind texture either. I don't mind if there's some, it doesn't have to be a smooth glass finish for me. I'm not worried about that at all. A little bit of texture is good. So I'm going to continue on with this. I'm going to do this to the whole piece. So it'll kind of tone it all down and bring it together.
And here it is. I don't necessarily love it, but I do like it a lot better. And it matches in my house. It doesn't stick out like a sore thumb, all loud and weird in white. It's better. Much better. Thanks so much for watching, and I really hope that this video helps you be okay with making the mistakes like I do. They're always fixable. Thanks again.